So you just heard about the social media marketing agency or SMMA business model. You're super excited to get your agency up and off the ground to start invoicing clients thousands of dollars per month just to manage their social media. But you have one question in the back of your mind, and that is, where the heck am I gonna find clients to work with me in my agency? Well, look no further. We're gonna unpack 5 ways in this video that you can find leads for your business, turn them into clients, and start invoicing big money for your agency. Every single method that I'm gonna talk about in this video, we have used personally, and I can assure you that they all work incredibly well. If you haven't already, make sure that you drop a subscribe to the channel. We're dropping videos packed with value like this every single week. And make sure to let me know in the comments down below which one of these you're gonna start using to start growing your business right away. Let's go ahead and jump into 5 ways to get some leads for your agency. Okay, so the first way is actually completely free for anybody located in the United States that has a library card. This is exactly the database that Derek and I started using 7 years ago when we got our agency up and off the ground, and it's called Reference USA, or now they call it Data Axle for some reason. But with a library card, you're actually able to access this database completely for free, and all you need to do is go to your library's website. So here I am on the Hennepin County Library website. I actually don't even belong to this library anymore. I now live in Arizona. This is a Minnesota library, but I still have access. So I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna go to search for website. I'm gonna type in Reference USA, and here comes up Reference Solutions, or it might be called Data Axle. I don't know why they have 3 names for the database, but whatever. Okay, so now we can see here, there's 91 million businesses in this database. So anybody who ever said that SMMA is saturated, this completely mitigates that. 91 million businesses just in the United States alone, just in one database. They also have Canadian businesses as well, which is pretty wild. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and search within the US, and I'm gonna come up here and go to advanced search. Now I'm just gonna type in a couple of rough criteria here. I'm gonna go ahead and say city of state. I'm just gonna do local to Phoenix as an example here. I'm gonna come down and I'm just gonna filter by sales volume so that we're only targeting people that are doing at least $500,000 per year and above. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and type in a couple of different fitness criteria. We can see here I've got gymnasiums, yoga, health club studios, and gymnasiums, and that brings us to about 14,000 records in this database. Gonna go ahead and view results. And now we can see that there's 13,000 results here, over 1,200 that have email addresses verified in the database, which is incredible. So we can go ahead and select these, download them to a CSV, and then immediately start going and emailing these. In the description down below, I have a link where you can use our exact cold email scripts that we used in combination with this database to get our first clients. Make sure that you check that out in the description down below. The next method that we're going to talk about that is also completely free that Derek and I also used when first getting our agency up and off the ground is Google Local Search. Now, this is the simplest way to get started finding businesses for your agency. It's completely free, but it also might be the most time intensive, but I do think that it is worth it, especially when you're first getting started. Let me explain why. All we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and type in our niche that we want to target in a local geography. We don't have to target local to our geography where we actually live. We can target anywhere throughout the world. They're going to show up in Google Local Search. But if you want to target businesses because you're first getting started that are in your local area and you just feel more comfortable with that, Google Local Search is an amazing way to do that. Now, why is this a great way to go about our prospecting? The real reason for that is that it actually gives you context to who you're actually reaching out to. Now, when you're first getting started, I highly recommend that you send out personalized one-to-one emails. It's just going to get you more comfortable with prospecting. It's going to get you a little bit more targeted with your messaging, and you're going to be practicing your pitch, at least in a written format, before you start hopping on phone calls with people and pitching your services. It also gives you a more in-depth look into what they're actually doing, and you can start to understand and ramp up a little bit faster when it comes to understanding different marketing tactics that people might be using. What I mean by that is if we go ahead and open up some of these businesses, we can look at their website and we can see what sort of offers they're providing. We can see the sort of branding that they have, and we can really see where they're at in terms of a business. We can see here 10.5, really not a ton going on with this business, whereas Tricor might be a little bit more flashy. I also might go ahead and take a look at their Instagram, see if the classes look like they're full, do they have a very large community, and see who in the local community is really leading the charge with the most membership in the case of fitness, obviously, and who has the most customers that other businesses might want to emulate or replicate the results of. This is exactly what we did with fitness clients when we first got started. There was a brand in Minneapolis where we were living that had opened up 5 studios almost overnight. They were completely taking over the market, and they had a robust marketing strategy that was clearly working very well. And speaking with other fitness studio owners, we could tell that they wanted to replicate those types of results. They were basically watching that brand, seeing what they were doing for marketing, and thinking to themselves, wow, I wish that I could do that. enter our agency. In our cold email messages, what we would do is we'd mention that other business and we'd say, hey, we see this business doing very well in your local community. We can help you replicate results like them through marketing strategies that we help you develop to help grow your business. Does that sound interesting? And because we had done this through Google local search, we understood the local market and we were able to reach out to them with a very targeted, compelling message that could help them play some catch up with other businesses in the area that were basically eating up market share. This is a big reason of why I love Google local search. All we need to do here is go ahead and type in the niche, and then we can go down to the bottom of each of these websites and start seeing their contact information here. As we can see, Ray at 10.5central.com, I'm guessing that Ray is probably the owner if her name is in the contact on the main website. But if it's an info at, that's just fine. You can reach out to those people as well. Or if you really want to find the owner and see if you can source their email address, you can basically just take the company name, go to LinkedIn, search for the company name, and see if there's somebody who is an owner, founder, something similar showing up on LinkedIn as the owner. Put their first name at companyname.com or whatever their domain is, and there's a good chance that you'll be reaching out directly to the owner. All right, so the third way that's amazing to find clients for your social media marketing agency is a paid option called D7 Lead Finder. Now, D7 Lead Finder is very similar to Reference USA in terms of the interface, so I'm not gonna get too far into picking parameters, but just know that it's very similar. They just have basically a different data set. For folks outside the US that don't have access to a library card, or for whatever reason your local library doesn't subscribe to the Reference USA service, I'd highly recommend D7 Lead Finder. It's $50 to $100 per month, which when you actually think about it is such a steal when it comes to actually getting leads for your agency. So if you look here, there's all different ways that you can target different niches. It's very similar to Reference USA. You're gonna type in the niche, you're gonna search within a certain geography, and it's gonna give you a CSV export of businesses that you can reach out to. The nice thing here as well is it provides it in a nice, easily used format. They also provide some social links, which Reference USA doesn't, so it could definitely be a better option if you're looking to do some more in-depth audits or something like that as a part of your outreach. The pricing plans, again, are pretty economical. It starts at $45 per month. It's gonna give you 10 searches per day, which should be more than enough to get you going, to get you, thousands of leads, 3,500 daily leads exported. And then that goes all the way up to $120 per month with 30,000 daily leads if you're really trying to go crazy with your outreach, which I honestly can't say that I really would recommend, but you could definitely go that option if you wanted to. The fourth option here is a platform called Apollo.io, and I'll actually link in the description down below to a free trial of Apollo.io if you want to go ahead and try it out. This is something that we use every single day. It's not only the platform that we use for our lead list creation, we also use it for our email sequencing. If you've watched our cold email YouTube video, make sure to check that out where I walk you through how to use Apollo to automate your entire cold emailing process. We also use it for calling. There's all different features within it, and the best part about it is that it starts at $100 per month, but it also gives you access to a database that's very similar to D7 Lead Finders in combination with all those other tools as well. So it is a bigger investment than the free options that I talked about, as well as those base plans of D7 Lead Finder, but with all the additional functionality that it offers, I highly recommend Apollo.io if you're looking at going this route. And again, I'll link to a trial in the description down below. But here's how Apollo works. All we're gonna do here is gonna look very similar to what we were looking at before, just a better interface. And what we can go ahead and do here is we can search by location. So let's say, again, I wanted to just do Phoenix, and let's say that I wanted to do owners of organizations. So I could go ahead and I could pull up owner, founder, it may be C-suite. And let's say that again, I wanted to just target the fitness industry. So I'm gonna go ahead over here, I'm gonna say fitness, gyms, health. So here's some options here, right? And we can see that there's 3,000 people, again, with this very simple rudimentary search. There's obviously more keywords that we could add into the platform. We could open it wider than Phoenix, of course. But we can see here that there are a lot of people that are showing up as business owners at all of these different fitness studios. We can see here that we can access their email and then go ahead and start enrolling them in an email sequence that we set up. I'm not gonna get too far into the weeds with that in this video. Again, there's another video on our channel. Just search cold email where I walk you through exactly how to set up sequences, touch points, and all that good stuff for your cold email outreach. That'd be a great video to watch right after this one to start implementing the stuff that you're learning right now. All right, so the next platform that's amazing to find lead lists from is a platform called Fiverr or Upwork. Now, Fiverr is amazing because there's a lot of people on here that are just ready and willing to do data mining or lead list generation projects for you. And Upwork is actually what we use to hire an entire team of contractors that work for our business. So through Upwork, we've retained people who do lead list creation for us on an ongoing basis where we don't have to keep coming back to Fiverr on a project basis for one list, another list, another list. We actually have people that are just doing this all day, every day for us. But Fiverr is a really great place to get started, and it's definitely a more economical option where you can see a little bit more of the work that people have done in the past. So for those purposes, I would definitely recommend Fiverr. So all I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna do a lead list search. So we can see here right at the top, there's a lot of people here who are offering their services at a bunch of different prices. So let's just click into a couple of these and look at what they offer. So here's a person who's willing to do a contact list building for targeted B2B lead generation services. We have a basic lead package, 50 leads for $15, 200 leads for $50. Now, these prices are definitely more expensive than what we might find from a Reference USA or from a D7 lead finder, but there might be more enrichment with those contacts that are provided. Like there might be more emails. You might save a step in terms of them getting you the owner's actual name, the actual verified email for the owner versus you having to do that yourself. So there's always a trade-off in these things. There's also all sorts of different prices. So if we look at this other offering here, we can see here that this person is actually $5 more expensive for 50 leads. It's actually maybe a little bit cheaper when you look at the list of 500 because the other person was offering 200 leads for 50, and here we get an extra 100 leads for twice the price, basically. So there's all kinds of people on here offering different services. I definitely would try a lot of them out. I certainly have had great experiences with Fiverr. I've also had misses with Fiverr, which is why we decided to retain people from Upwork that we found to be really, really great. But this is an amazing way for you to get started. It takes zero heartburn from you. There's no manual intervention. All you need to do is start a project, fill out the parameters of who you're looking like and the data points that you want on those leads, like the owner's name, email, maybe their phone number if you're planning on doing some cold calling, and you're off to the races. It looks like within 4 days, you're gonna have a list of 500 people that are verified that you can go ahead and start prospecting into. So those are 5 amazing ways that you can get started with lead generation for your agency, get some people on the calendar, and start closing some deals. What I'd recommend is just picking one. If you have access to Reference USA through your library, it's free, get started with that. If you're planning on doing a lot of cold emailing, start with Apollo. It's $100 a month, but I promise you that it is well worth it. And we also have that extended trial link in the description down below for you guys. A great video to watch after this one that'll enable you to actually start contacting these businesses right away is this video right here where I talk about how to automate cold email for your agency. And keep in mind that this is barely scratching the surface of what we cover in the SMMA Blueprint program when it comes to actually getting clients. Out of any course on the market when it comes to SMMA, there's nobody that comes close to the SMMA Blueprint when it comes to actually getting clients and acquiring clients for your agency. So make sure that you check that out in the description down below. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.